Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Today I have something informative lined up for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe online cyber network. The information in this essay is strictly for educational purposes. Techniques like reverse shells are essential tools for ethical hackers and cybersecurity professionals. The goal is to help you understand threats and, more importantly, how to defend against them. Unauthorized access to systems is illegal and carries severe consequences. Never use these methods without explicit written permission. This knowledge is meant to build stronger defenses, not for malicious use. Understanding the attacker's mindset is the first step to building resilient security. Penetration testing simulates attacks to find vulnerabilities before criminals do. Use this information responsibly to protect digital assets. Remember, with great knowledge comes great responsibility. Imagine wanting to control another computer from anywhere in the world without physically touching it. This is a common goal for both hackers and cybersecurity professionals during penetration testing. But how do they actually achieve this remote access? Normally, firewalls are set up to block direct access from outside sources, acting as digital security guards that prevent unauthorized connections from reaching your computer or network. One traditional method is called a bind shell, where the target computer waits for incoming connections, like leaving a door open for someone to walk in. However, firewalls are very good at spotting and blocking these incoming attempts, making bind shells unreliable in most real-world scenarios. A reverse shell flips the script entirely. Instead of the attacker reaching in, the victim's computer actually initiates the connection out to the attacker, like making a phone call instead of waiting for one. Outgoing connections are usually allowed by firewalls, since most computers need to access the internet for updates, emails, or browsing. This makes the reverse shell method much more stealthy and effective. The attacker simply sets up a listener on their own machine, waiting for the victim's computer to reach out and connect back. To make this happen, the attacker often tricks the victim into running a piece of malicious code, maybe through a phishing email, a fake software update, or a compromised website. Once the connection is established, the attacker gains a command prompt on the victim's machine, allowing them to execute commands as if they were sitting right in front of it. It's almost as if the victim's computer called the attacker and handed over the keys, granting full remote control. Because the connection looks like normal, outgoing traffic, most security systems and firewalls don't see anything suspicious, allowing the attacker to slip by unnoticed. In this way, the attacker doesn't have to break in. They're essentially invited in from the inside, bypassing many traditional security measures. This is why reverse shells are so common, not just among hackers, but also for ethical hackers and penetration testers who need to test network defenses. They're simple to set up, highly effective, and extremely reliable for bypassing even advanced security defenses. Understanding how reverse shells work is crucial for anyone involved in defending networks, as it helps you recognize and block these attacks before they succeed. In short, the reverse shell is a fundamental tool in the cybersecurity world, and knowing how it operates is key to both offense and defense in the digital age. Reverse shells are favored because they bypass security by using trusted outbound connections. They're versatile. Attackers can write them in almost any language, adapting to any environment. This flexibility makes them universal tools for hackers. Reverse shells provide interactive control, letting attackers explore, steal data, or pivot to other systems. They're easy to create, often with a single command. Penetration testers use them to quickly demonstrate vulnerabilities. No need for complex malware. A simple script can open the door. Their stealth, power, and simplicity make them a go-to tool. Both ethical and malicious hackers rely on them for initial access. That's why understanding reverse shells is vital for defenders. The danger of a reverse shell is how well it blends in with normal traffic. Attackers use common ports like 80 or 443, making their connections look like regular web browsing. Security analysts see what appears to be normal activity. Encryption hides the commands, making traffic look like legitimate HTTPS. Attackers may use beaconing, short, infrequent connections to avoid detection. These brief connections are less likely to trigger alarms. The attacker sacrifices constant control for long-term stealth, hiding in plain sight. Reverse shells evade both automated and human monitoring. This makes them especially challenging to detect. For a reverse shell to work, its code must run on the victim's machine. Attackers hide shellcode in office macros, phishing emails, or fake software installers. A user enables macros or installs software, unknowingly running the payload. Web servers are targeted with uploaded scripts disguised as harmless files. Visiting the script's URL triggers the reverse shell. Attackers also disguise the running process with legitimate-sounding names. svchos.x or Apache 2 can hide malicious activity among real processes. These tricks make detection difficult for both users and administrators. Disguise and deception are key to a reverse shell's success. Let's take a closer look at how a reverse shell attack can unfold in the real world and why it's such a dangerous threat for organizations of all sizes. Meet Eve, a skilled attacker who sets her sights on Bob, an unsuspecting employee at Acme Corp. She's done her homework, learning about Bob's role and the company's internal processes. Eve carefully crafts a phishing email, pretending to be from the IT department. The message warns Bob about an urgent security update he needs to install to keep his computer safe. The email looks official, complete with company branding and a sense of urgency. Attached to the email is a Word document. Hidden inside is a malicious macro, a single line of PowerShell code designed to open a reverse shell back to Eve's computer. The macro is disguised to look harmless, but it's anything but. Meanwhile, Eve prepares her end by setting up a listener on her machine, waiting for Bob's computer to reach out and connect. Trusting the email, Bob opens the document. When prompted, he enables macros, believing it's necessary for the update to work. Instantly, Bob's computer initiates an outbound connection to Eve's server. The reverse shell is now active, giving Eve a secret doorway into Acme Corp's network. With a command prompt on Bob's machine, Eve can execute commands remotely, explore files, and move laterally within the company's systems. The connection is cleverly disguised as normal encrypted HTTPS traffic, blending in with legitimate network activity. Security tools don't raise any alarms. Now Eve can browse sensitive files, steal confidential data, and even use Bob's access to reach deeper into the internal network, all without anyone noticing. Bob, meanwhile, is left staring at a blank document, completely unaware that his computer has been compromised. This scenario highlights how attackers use a blend of social engineering, tricking people, and technical tricks to bypass security. Phishing emails like this are often the first step in a reverse shell attack, making them one of the most common and effective entry points for cybercriminals today. Reverse shells are stealthy but not invisible. Egress filtering restricts outbound connections to trusted IPs and ports. Network analysis can spot odd traffic patterns like constant connections or activity at strange hours. Endpoint detection and response, EDR tools flag suspicious process behavior such as word launching PowerShell. Log analysis in a CM system helps find rare connections or mismatched process names. These methods combined increase the chances of catching a reverse shell. Vigilance and layered monitoring are key. Even the stealthiest attacks leave traces for defenders to find. Detecting a reverse shell is only the first step. Response is critical. Immediately block traffic to the attacker's IP to cut off access. Isolate the compromised machine to prevent further spread. Forensic analysis determines what the attacker did and if other malware remains. Often, wiping and reinstalling the system is the safest option. Learn from the incident, improve email filtering, train users, and restrict macros. Prevention and quick response are essential to limit damage. Every incident is a chance to strengthen defenses. Reverse shells are just tools, powerful, versatile, and widely used in the world of cybersecurity. But like any tool, their true impact depends entirely on the intent and ethics of the person wielding them. Used with good intentions, reverse shells can help strengthen digital defenses. Used with bad intentions, they can cause serious harm. The difference lies in the purpose behind the action. Ethical hackers, also known as white hats, use reverse shells with explicit permission. Their goal is to find and fix vulnerabilities before real attackers can exploit them. They operate within legal boundaries, always respecting the systems and data they test. Companies hire penetration testers to simulate real-world attacks, allowing organizations to see where their defenses are weak and how they can be improved. This proactive approach is essential for staying ahead of cyber threats. A successful reverse shell in a controlled test is a win for the defenders. It means a vulnerability has been uncovered before it could be abused by criminals. Each discovered weakness is an opportunity to strengthen security, patch systems, and protect sensitive information. On the other hand, malicious hackers, often called black hats, use the same techniques for illegal purposes, such as stealing data, causing disruption, or demanding ransom. The ongoing battle in cybersecurity is a constant game of cat and mouse, with attackers always searching for new ways in and defenders working tirelessly to block them. For anyone working in cybersecurity, understanding how these tools work is absolutely vital. It's not just about knowing how to attack, but also how to defend. The same knowledge that can be used to break into systems can also be used to protect them. It all comes down to how you choose to use your skills and expertise. That's why learning about reverse shells and other hacking techniques is so important for defenders. The more you know, the better you can protect your organization. In the end, knowledge is power. So, use it responsibly and always strive to be on the side of security and trust. Reverse shells show how attackers cleverly exploit trust in outbound connections. Defending against them requires layered security, firewalls, endpoint protection, and continuous network monitoring. Technology forms the foundation, but strong processes are essential: patching, privilege management, and incident response. The most important defense is people, well-trained, vigilant users. Security awareness turns employees into a powerful human firewall. When users know how to spot phishing, they become active defenders. In a connected world, security is everyone's shared responsibility. Knowledge and vigilance are truly our best weapons. Thanks for watching and learning with me. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I value your feedback. Cyber Network.